Skim Game by Jim Butcher. This is the 15th book in the series. There's only 2 left, so I'm almost there. 600 pages and 51 chapters. This so far has actually been my favorite. I know I said that about the last book. This one has topped it. It was a wacky adventure through the gates of hell, and it was a great story, adventure, struggle, challenge, all of the above. And the trip to the Underworld, into Hades' lair to steal the Holy Grail. Quite a quest, and this is all based around Harry's boss. Harry's the main character. His boss is the Winter Queen. He is the Winter Knight. Winter Queen loans him to Nicodemus, who is chief spy master for the Blackened Knights of Denarius. They carry the 30 pieces of silver and are fighting against the Knights of the Cross. So, the quest for the Holy Grail, right? We don't know why it's important or what it does, but we know that that is the object of desire. And I really liked how everything played out for the most part. The only thing that I was able to guess, I couldn't guess any of the twists and turns, but I was able to guess what the backup skull was for. I could tell right away that that was going to be for the parasite, for lack of a better word. Don't want to give anything away. So, there were a fair number of twists and turns in this one. So yeah, I didn't guess any of them. And to me, that was really an exciting read and a lot of fun. So, just a few quick things that I didn't like, but the rest I did. So it far outweighs, the likes far outweighs the dislike. The Janoska guy, the animal that can like veil himself and is super strong and super tough. It just seemed kind of like he was, I don't know, I don't want to say too good to be true, but like just too strong. And so of course he ended up beating up Harry, and it's just like, I don't know, I just felt like it was, if you want somebody to work with you, you don't like beat them to a pulp. But I don't know, that's just me. So I get it, the brutality, the violence, right? They're criminals, that kind of thing. But, and I guess it kind of ties into this whole thing, right? The whole series, Harry, takes a couple beatings, takes a couple more beatings, eats a pizza, gets a nap, and then he's good to go to save the world, right? So it's kind of like, that's kind of like a recurring theme. So I don't know. It was okay. It just wasn't my thing. I don't know. It just seemed like there could have been a different way. I'm not sure what that way is, but it seemed like there could have been something different. The last thing that I didn't like was I thought for sure Molly was going to swoop in at any point and, show off her new powers. But she didn't, which is okay. That's not a big deal. I'm looking forward to reading more about her in the next couple books. But yeah, I was totally expecting her to show up the whole time. So I was surprised there. So what did I like? I liked everything else about this book. The quest, the characters interactions. It was just awesome. So the Winter Knight, who, the main character is Harry and he is the Winter Knight. And so now Butters has a theory about what it does, and that his theory is that it raises the pain threshold, and that it doesn't really grant him superpowers per se, but just like, it doesn't make him invincible, it just makes him feel the pain less. And I liked that theory. It hasn't really been proven, but there's been lots of evidence, so more on that. Butters as Batman, like his escape with Bob, that was so cool. That was so much fun. I thought it could be its own little like movie scene there, and that was pretty cool. So also Bob is super awesome. I like Harry kind of keeps him locked away, but with Butters, he is making potions and throwing them around and moving and stuff and using him to like power his skateboard and whip things around. Just excellent, super excellent. Like vigilante Butters, yes, that was epic. I liked the 3 gates in the Underworld, fire, ice, and blood. I thought that was a unique story arc there and enjoyed it. The meeting with Hades. I really am not sure how to not give anything away. Just gonna say that I liked it. It was at the right time, and what was said was just right. So very key there. Also, Michael coming out of retirement. That was a lot of fun, right? Like, I thought he was retired too soon, so to see him in action again was epic. All right, I got a couple of quotes here that I liked. The first one is, "Life's a challenge, rise to it." That was Nicodemus, the head bad guy, talking to the safecracker who was hired. She said, "This safe is impossible," and that's what he said in response. Life is a challenge, and you can choose to rise to it, or you can ignore it and ignore your challenges. And that's been a big theme throughout all these books, is choices and challenges, that kind of thing, how you respond. So yep. Another part that I liked is a conversation between Butters and Murphy. Again, about choices. It's about choices, Waldo, about faith. You have an array of facts in front of you that can fit into several truths. You have to choose what you're going to allow to drive your decisions about how to deal with those facts. What do you mean? You could let fear be what motivates you. But you're not wrong. That kind of thing can happen, and it scares me too. Yep. Murphy is explaining her reasoning on how she handles her choices and fear, right? She could let it consume her, or she could trust in her friends and allies and not let it consume her. So she had her head on straight and did a good job of explaining that to Butters. I thought that was a good key moment there. Another part is during the meeting with Hades. There's another quote that I liked, "Always be polite, it costs you nothing. Nothing but breath, and can buy you as much as your life." That was advice from Harry's father, who is dead, but that was advice. And Harry was reflecting upon his meeting with Hades, so that was pretty key there, and timely, not to upset the head of the Underworld, ruler of the Underworld. I'm not sure, but either way. And then the last bit, we still haven't figured out what Mac is or what his role is, but he and Mab had an interesting interaction. Mab started and opened and said, "May your patrons be prosperous and honest." Mab said that to Mac, and Mac said, "May your scales always return to balance." So Mab is a winter queen, and the Fae believe in balancing the scales, everything in balance. So that was really cool. So hoping to find out more about all of that in the future. Molly, Mab, and Mac. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's only 2 books left. So looking forward to that. This was Skin Game. Buy your books used if you can.